So I am dead excited to know what you made of this number. I didn't know if it would be outside of your comfort zone or not. So
Well, I guess we're about to find out, aren't we? Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Audiophiles. It's too high to get over,
yes.
too low to get under.
Yes.
You're stuck in the middle,
Yeah.
and the pain is thunder.
Yeah.
Smoothly done. More on that later. But first, we've got a track to listen to. And we should go professional. Andy, what have you got for us?
I have a band that I would be surprised if you've heard of, but I don't know. You've surprised me in the past. So the band is called the Family Crest.
No, I don't think so. No,
Okay.
It doesn't ring any bells.
Well, I have a performance from Audiotree that I want you to check out. Yeah, and the song is called Beneath the Brine. It's about a pickle.
Okay. Fair enough.
So go give it a listen and let me know what you think.
Does anyone eat the gherkins in McDonald's burgers? Does anyone?
Does anyone either? I feel like you're either strongly in favor of them or you loathe them.
I remember many years ago going to a McDonald's after the pub and coming out, and basically it had a glass front and it was covered in gherkins. People were just
flicking them on the glass.
There was a couple of hundred gherkins on there stuck to the glass at least. Yeah. And I thought, rightly so. But anyway, so this has nothing to do with gherkins, and because if it is, you're in trouble. I shall go off and listen to the Family Crest and tell you what I think.
Okie doke.
Sorry, just immediately this reminds me of Cloud Cults. Not particularly, but kind of that song that I gave Andy, When Water Comes to Life, but it's got that same sort of vibe just in the first 16 seconds. There you go.
The sound, the tick, the weighty crick of her heart against my spine. Now the dark is nigh, and she lays here at my side. But like a steady squall, her arms they fall, and her legs they grasp me tight. Oh, young in your
Okay. I'm digging this. It's got a chaotic energy to it, which I really like. Love the cello. Sounds fantastic. As do the rest of them. Fiddles, trombone. The drums kicked in, sounded really cool as well. His voice is okay. It's got that same tone, that kind of modern folk, which sort of is familiar with other bands. He's got a decent voice, don't get me wrong. But I'm really liking the whole energy and vibe to this. And it's a live performance, so they're killing it. So yeah, cool.
Oh, my waking world, I leave you for a girl cast away into this light, swimming blindly through the night. Now my heart is bound like a plague upon the sound, and though it slips away, such soft decay, then it grows.
So I noticed that the trombonist looks much younger and is wearing a tie, and it looks like he's perhaps on work experience and his mum's told him to make an effort. And I think that's funny. And then I noticed the bass player with his bow tie, which is even funnier. Made me laugh.
Slow as ice, hold yourself beneath the brine. smooth as wine, black as night. Hold yourself beneath the brine.
I enjoy that. It was funny. You're sort of like getting a bit of a sense of the characters as you're watching them. Mr. Acoustic Singer with his trendy hat on. It's definitely a buskin hat. And you got the two guys with the caps as well. The flautist looks very classy. Bass player's a character, I guess, or trying to be one. I really like the drums in this. I thought they were so energetic but controlled. The song as a whole, it's really sort of loosey-goosey, a bit all over the place, and it was more like a series of bits that I enjoyed rather than it being a whole song. It's hard to step back and see it as a whole. It was rather, I like this bit now, and this bit's a bit chaotic, and this bit's, but it was still really enjoyable. And performance-wise, excellent, really, really good. There was a great sound to them when they were going at it as well. Yeah, a bit of a mess, to be honest with you, but a really enjoyable mess. Yeah. Okay, let's get back to Andy and see what he has to say.
So I am dead excited to know what you made of this number. I didn't know if it would be outside of your comfort zone or not. So,
well, I guess we're about to find out,
aren't we?
So, wonderful cello to begin with, and immediately it reminds me of Cloud Colt. That song I gave you, When Water Comes to Life. It's not the same, obviously, but it has that same feel to it, and that same, sort of joie de vivre almost straight away. From their lovely cello, the acoustic guitar hitches a ride, and then they pick up a classy flute, and suddenly the whole band is packed into a speeding charabanc hurtling down the hill at speed. There's obviously violin and bass and trombone and drums in the mix, and it really is a mix. So then the vocal begins, and he's got a very modern folk tone to him, that sort of mid-noughties revival sound to his voice. It's decent enough, so that, I liked it. It was fine. Didn't go a bundle over it, but, it was all right. So yeah, it's a really interesting song. Loads of energy. As it progresses, the cello is still sounding great, and I particularly like the drummer.
Yeah, I knew you would like the
lots of
drummer.
oomph and control. I mean, at points he was really directing things.
Yeah.
And there's a great sort of fill. It's very brief, but it's a great fill he does at the end of the first part. I won't deconstruct the song part by part because anyway, but there's huge energy, and it's a really, really great live performance. And you get the sense that these guys can do this in their sleep. It's pretty much, it's a dual, it's effortless almost to them, but at the same time, it's done with great sort of gusto and vigor as well. So they're putting a lot into it, but it feels like it's effortless as well at the same time. Really enjoying it. The vocalist goes into full tilt, and there's some really, really nice flourishes from the band, particularly from the flute and the violin. They're sort of trilling these little bits as he's doing his utmost, as it were. I will say this point: the song structure is all over the place, which you probably love. But for me, it's more Lemony Snicket. It's a series of not unfortunate events, but it is a series of events almost. But it's a really enjoyable jumble. So if I was being critical, the song I think is a mess, but it's a glorious mess. It's very enjoyable sort of jumble. At this point, I've sort of given up trying to sort of work out how it's flowing and everything, because they just seem to be doing their own thing, which is fine, and I am enjoying it. But at this point, I noticed the trombone player. He looks so young. it looks like he's probably on work experience, and his mum has made him wear a tie to go to work. Got to dress smart, make an impression. And then almost immediately after that, I don't know why I didn't before, and then I noticed the bass player is rocking a bow tie, and that just really tickled me. I don't know why, but it really tickled me.
He's also quite animated for a guy wearing a skinny white guy in a bow tie. Like, he's really getting into it. It's great.
He is. They're all characters in their own way. Yeah. And then while we're on it, we've got the flat cap twins. Peaky Blinders is a lot to answer for, and the singer has that sort of de rigueur busker's hat, you know, the one that people use, you know, when they're busking, and they can flip off and collect coins in. Yeah. I have to say, above all else, though, the flautist just remains classy. She really looks like she's been airdropped in from somewhere very much more prestigious. She even joins in with some backing vocals, or sort of part vocals, and sounds classy on that as well. On the kind of there's certain elements of the song, and that bit was the mandatory folksy harmony section, which you always get. They're taking almost like cliches and doing their own thing with them at certain points of the song, which again I really liked. Yeah, so I've written my notes. At this point, I've given up trying to make sense of the song, and I just enjoy the ride. You know, I'm on the back of the shower bag with my feet in the air, going woo. It becomes really frenetic. The drummer is still great, and it has this whirling quality to it. You know, about 3/4 of the way through the song, and you just sort of almost get the sense that you're all spinning round and round in a big sort of barn or hall or something. And then there's the last compulsory element of the routine for the judges, which is the quiet, eyes screwed down part from the singer, and then it finishes. Overall, I would say, as a song, is a bit of a mess to me. It just, you know, doesn't flow, but a really lovable, enjoyable mess full of excellent musicianship and great performance, and I really liked it. Not got a clue about the lyrics. The music was so busy, I had barely time to recognize that the guy was singing. But I imagine there's some sort of unobtainable figure at the center of all these salty shenanigans.
Fair. I mean, there's certainly someone who is the subject of the song, I would say, for sure. Who there is perhaps the ending of a relationship or something to that effect that we'll get into. But
tell me more about this band, because they're on the whole, I mean, it's quite a mixture, and it's quite a mixture of people and ages. It is not the sort of band that if you were like had a lineup, you pick them out and say, well, these 5 or 6 belong together.
Yeah.
Different ages and styles and everything, but they play really well together though. So yeah, tell me more.
Absolutely. Yeah, the Family Crest is an American orchestral indie rock band based in San Francisco. The band is made up of 7 core members and several hundred additional members who actively participate in recordings, live performances, and other creative projects. Of course. A lot of moving parts. Those 7 core members are Leah McCormick, lead vocals and guitar, John Cederlin on bass, Anthony Francesi on drums, Laura Bergman, the buttoned-up flautist and percussionist and vocalist, George Saman on trombone, Owen Sutter on violin and percussions, Charlie Ackert on cello and percussion. And Laura Bergman, Owen Sutter, Charlie Ackert, and George Saman are all classically trained. Bergman, Sutter, Ackert, and Saman, and Francesi hold degrees in music performance. Though the band identifies themselves as an orchestral indie rock band, their sound is inspired by many genres, including jazz, folk, and classical. Kimberly Chun of San Francisco Chronicle states that the Family Crest harbors an affection for Burt Bacharach-style swinging, romanticism that is sure to impress lovers of classic pop. Their discography includes 4 EPs and 4 LPs, as well as a compilation album. And this particular track is off their 2014 EP that bears the same name, Beneath the Brine, and is the opening track. Tom Emanuel, in his review of the album for WordPress, would say, in short, there's a lot going on here. in terms of scale and style both. As the collective hops from Dave Brubeck jazz to 1930s swing to high-stakes orchestral pop, thematically oceanic imagery and relationship woes dominate the record, with much talk of being pulled under the waves and the preponderance of the I-U dyads. As the record moves toward its conclusion, though, the mood lightens. He concluded the review by noting perhaps the highest compliment one can pay the family Crest is that even with a cast of literally hundreds, they never descend into self-indulgence. It's big and bold and yes, bombastic, but it's hard to imagine these hugely melodic and melodically huge songs any other way. And Liam Sullivan, also of WordPress, when it provided a write-up for the song specifically, said, I generally find myself scornful of over-orchestrated prog rock. But even though Beneath the Brine by Family Crest could be described this way, I'm smitten with it. Perhaps because the orchestration is done so well, its strong singing voice of the lead vocalist. So yeah, I mean, kind of similar takes on it that you would have. Even this guy who's outwardly uncomfortable with prog music, as I think you would say, generally speaking, you are. There's something redeeming about the way that this is all constructed and put together and performed that makes it kind of charming and interesting. So we will go
Sorry,
ahead.
as you were saying about the band members, I mean, more and more that it sounds like they come from a similar design as that of Cloud Cult, multi-instrumentalists, and they have their training and gone to it. There's probably a slightly different approach, in terms of his thinking, as it were, with all the earth stuff and whatever. But the way they approach things seems very similar.
Yeah.
I got a very similar energy out of them as well.
It's also funny because I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying the only thing is it's slightly different personalities, which make the difference in the flavor,
Yeah, yeah. But even down to the all these like allusions to water and uses like as water as like a metaphorical mechanism, right? This album is filled with it as one could imagine, Beneath the Brine would suggest perhaps, but the same was evident in Cloud Cult, was it not? Where there was this allusion to water in it as well. Yeah. So
that was about the baby who died,
right.
So from a different place. And you do get a sense with this, there is an air of that sort of romanticism about them in the way they were telling the story, which I didn't catch, but you got that feel from it, These are the sort of romantic tales,
So we will jump into the lyrics. Oh, young love of mine, she sleeps beneath the brine. And oh, the sound, the tick, the weighty click of her heart against my spine. Now the day is nigh, now the dark is nigh, and she lays here at my side. But like a steady squall, her arms, they fall, and her legs, they grasp me tight. Oh, young love, young dear, why have you taken me in your fall? All of my love, all of my life, given to you, sacrificed. Oh, my waking world, I leave you for a girl, cast away into this blight, swimming blindly through the night. Now my heart is bound like a plague upon this sound, and oh, it slips away, such soft decay, then it grows. Oh, young love, young dear, why have you taken me in your fall? All of my love, all of my life, given to you, sacrificed. Stay clear the wreckage. She goes down, down, down. She burns like the sun, and it all falls away. Take your time, and I'll take mine here today. But it cuts like a knife, and we're bound here as the night. It breaks away, and it all goes down. Oh, the sun. Oh, young love, young dear, why have you taken me in your fall? All of my life, all of my days given to you, cast away. Here's to the war, here's to the night, all of my love sacrificed. Soft and kind, cold as ice, hold yourself beneath the brine. Smooth as wine, black as night, hold yourself beneath the brine. So, this is all kind of inspired by a Walt Whitman poem that is called "The World Below the Brine." And in it, Whitman spends the first 8 lines describing the beauty of the world under the sea. Then, in the last 3 lines, he pictures the alien struggles, passions there, wars, pursuits, tribes, sight in those ocean depths, breathing that thick breathing air, as so many do. The change thence to the sight here, and to the subtle air breathed by beings like us who walk this sphere, the change onward from ours to that of beings who walk other spheres. So this song kind of, I wouldn't necessarily, I don't know if I would say it picks up where that left, but it runs with this theme of being an outsider entering the water, and also the dividing line between you and the person that you're breaking up with being like shipwrecks and out at sea, and going with or away from her, to follow her into the depths or to walk ashore. And so I think McCormick, it says, follows his dearest into the deep, and he's not sure why. He sacrificed worldly goods, relationships, and health to pursue her, but she won't/can't justify his further effort. Crying and pleading for an answer, he watches her sink with the wreckage, and he finds it impossible to justify morphing further into one who exists in this alien sphere. He cuts out his heart, leaves it on the table, and walks away. Soft and kind, cold as ice, hold yourself beneath the brine, smooth as wine, black as night, hold yourself beneath the brine. She can keep her decaying spirit and stay in the eroding netherworld if she must, but he's going home. So yeah, that's the song, that's the inspiration therein.
So it's a bit like Little Mermaid.
Oh yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Do you know what's really weird is that I've never heard the sea being called the brine before, but there is a really old sort of nickname in this country, is the Briney. It's never known as the brine, but it's just weird. I've never heard it be called the brine, because it's kind of, that is salt water used mainly in food process.
Yeah, exactly.
It's odd, and obviously Whitman would have used it back then or whatever. But it's interesting, and I don't really know any Whitman. I don't know why I've not read his stuff, but obviously he's pretty famous, but for some reason not. So I'll have to check some of that out. Sounds
Yeah,
really
by all means. Excellent writer. All right, man. Well, hey, thank you for giving this a shot. Thank you for being a bit open-minded with this one and actually coming out the other end, having enjoyed it, the performance and the song, right?
There's a lot to enjoy.
Yeah, that's great, man. Awesome. Well, thanks again, everybody out there in the listening audience. Let us know what you think about the family Crest, and this song "Beneath the Brine." If it made you think of anything, if you're inspired to, having listened to it, to offer up anything that it reminds you of, or just anything at all, please feel free to drop that down in the comments field. We're always happy to check out stuff that you guys suggest. Feel free also to like, share, and subscribe if you'd be so inclined. And if you haven't yet, we're always trying to grow the channel, and we can't do that without our audiophile army out there. So that is slowly growing. And we really do appreciate y'all's company here and are happy to have you along for the ride. All that out of the way, hopefully John and I will see all y'all, and maybe some more, on the next installment of the Audiophiles. See you later, guys.